Over 25,000 people across India are known to be infected with the swine flu virus. The continued rise in number of cases is being attributed to the unusual weather conditions, including unseasonal rains, that have kept humidity at high levels and allowed the virus to thrive. The Union Health Ministry has said that the highest number of deaths was at 322, and that's in Gujarat state, where over 5,521 people have been affected. Throughout all of India, Jose, 1,500 people have died so far. Just today, I see here that 40 people were infected in one state, 20 in another state, and then we're seeing it all across the country. It's reminding a lot of people of the swine flu epidemic that took place in 2009 to about halfway through 2010. And a lot of people died. It worried a lot of people. But a lot of people in India are saying, well, no, this is different. This is only because of the weather, allowing for this humidity to come at a time when it usually doesn't come, allowing the disease to thrive. And back in 2009, they're saying that, we weren't ready for it. We had never dealt with it. It was a new disease. And so they're kind of telling people, don't worry, we have more testing facilities, and that's why you're seeing an increased numbers of infections. But the numbers don't lie. There are a lot of people who are dying. And it raises a few questions. One, we just saw the last Ebola patient leaving hospital in Liberia.
Yeah.
That's still fresh on our minds, the whole Ebola thing. And when you look at the numbers comparatively, how many people are dying? Obviously, a lot more people are affected with the H1N1 or swine flu, and a lot less people are dying from it, because the mortality rate is a lot less than Ebola.
Yeah.
But still, overall, if you look at the numbers, we're already at 1,500 people, more than that, confirmed dead. So you could see the numbers steadily rising, and we could see it even surpassing the number of people who have died in the most recent Ebola outbreak, which was more than 7,600 people.
Yeah.
But then you wonder, why is it getting less media attention? Why aren't people as scared of swine flu? But when they hear Ebola, God, it's bad.
No, I think Ebola, they managed to create this whole narrative around the disease and this idea that it's a unbeatable disease, and if you get it, like kind of a bioterror scenario where people will be dying and falling dead on the floor. But the reality is that India has, a high rate. It's overpopulated. It's a very poor country, and lacks infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So it's easier for these diseases to travel throughout because there's no controls. More developed countries, they have controls within border lines of the states that allows for a tighter control and detection of this. But overpopulation, lack of infrastructure, and climate change brings perfect scenario to see this increase on the disease.
Yeah, they are taking a lot of measures. A lot of people are getting tested. And in Gujarat state, where I told you that the most people have been infected, they're trying to stop people from traveling so much who are infected, because they're coming to big cities like Delhi, Mumbai.
Exactly.
And so they're trying to restrict the movement within the country, well, at least those who are infected, so that it doesn't spread more.
And then the way they travel in India, how they pack the trains.
Yeah.
It's very easy to the disease to travel and to get, people get sick because they are crammed in these trains traveling, and the trains move really slow, so there's more contact time. It's unfortunate.
So I guess it's not very surprising, and it's probably not a coincidence that you see it happening in China. You see it happening in India, the swine flu, for example. But it makes you think, what about as these diseases, as these bugs, as they evolve and they change, we become immune to some of it, but the bugs themselves also become immune to some vaccinations and things. It's like, it makes you think. We saw Ebola. We're seeing this. Is it inevitable that we see something coming here on our shores in America? Do you think that can happen?
Well, it is possible.
And I'm not trying to scare anybody.
I know, but it is possible. That possibility exists. The fact that we can travel so easily from one place to another in the world, the fact that the communications and the flights are such a common thing now, it's very easy for someone, let's call it patient zero, to travel from one side of the world to the other and carry the disease. And we've seen the models of how diseases spread. It's very plausible. And as you say, maybe the strains that we've investigated in the United States are not exactly the same. Maybe it's a mutation of that is happening of that virus that is happening in India, and once it traveled to the States, the vaccinations might not be effective. So it's plausible. If it's a reality, I don't think so. I think that here in the United States we have very good controls of the disease control, but at the same time, when we see these infections happen at that rate, it's alarming.
Yeah, it is. Well, let us know what you guys think. That's a really good point that Jose brought up. Are you guys as optimistic as he is about all of it? Please comment, subscribe if you haven't already to the Lip TV.